Donna is the lovely Jill have told you. I'm 15 years with Forever, and my background is fitness and nutrition. So 15 years ago I came across this business through the product. Both my daughters, really young, 3, which is here now, she's 18, and my 6-month-old at the time suffered terrible with really angry skin. And I stumbled across the business through the product. My best friend, who is also here today, showed me this business, and I'm forever grateful. She came along to my house with Julie to show me this fantastic opportunity. And within a couple of weeks of using the products, I could see the angriness in the girl's skin had settled. And I just thought, there's so much more to this. I didn't want to work in a gym. Back then, it wasn't like it is now that you could work online from Dubai. You had to be in a gym. Your feet had to be on the ground. So you were there from like 6 in the morning till 4 in the day, or 4 in the day till 10 at night. It was just really unsociable. And I wanted to be a present mammy. I was 21, I had a 3-year-old, and like not even a 1-year-old. I was a really young mammy, and I wanted to be at home with the girls. And I fell in love with this business from there. And this business has given me the freedom to be able to be there for school drop-offs, collections, dinner time, homework time, bedtime. That's all you want as a mammy. You don't want to have to be able to pass your kiddies off in the morning time and not see them until the evening time. And 15 years later, we're still here. I didn't think life would be still so busy now, but it really is. You've Erin there with our horse, so the passion for horses drives her through life. She's just started to study to be an equine physiotherapist. I'm able to support her, bring her to college in Kildare, collect her, bring her up and down to the yards because she trains horses on a daily basis, and she juggles skills. So this allows me to be able to be her little taxi. And then you've Amber in the middle there drinking her gel after a match. Amber plays county and club, so she's so busy. She's 1 day off a week, and again I'm able to be with her all the time. And then you have the boss in the corner, so you can see the mischief on her face. She's up to everything, so she hasn't got a free day. She wants to be everywhere, in the rucks with everything. And the confidence that she has alone, it's a ripple effect from being around this company. It's unbelievable. How tuned in Amber is with nutrition and micros and macros and fueling her body and recovering her body. That's a ripple effect from growing up around this company. This company is so much more than product. It's community. It's self-belief. I never thought I belonged somewhere like here, standing on stage talking to a group of people. I was so young as a mammy. I was so vulnerable. This business is so much more than product. It gives people opportunity. It gives you choices. And here we are in France last year. So much more than just in my home, this has rippled out. So behind Michael there, you probably can't see him, but my brother was behind Michael's arm, and he lives in France. And I hadn't seen him for maybe 2 years. And when we went to Paris last year, I was able to bring him into this environment. Like, for me, that is just unbelievable. We brought home the Spirit Award, our little 3 countries. All of them, thousands of people in that stadium, and we brought home the Spirit Award. And he just slotted in there like a glove. It was probably his voice, actually, that carried to the stage. That won us the Spirit Award. But he was just welcomed with open arms. And this is not the kind of life he lives over there. So it was just amazing to be able to bring him into this environment. So my job today, and my intention today, is to create a space where you feel safe to learn and then implement. Where you feel safe to know that you are enough to lead people from the front. Just as Jill said, exactly as you are. Okay? So we're going to talk about attracting clients, we're going to talk about support and transformation, and we're also going to talk about creating lifelong change as a ripple effect from our fantastic C9 programme. So what is the C9? The C9 is a structured 9-day reset. It supports your digestion, it supports your energy, it supports your nutrition, it supports your routine, and it offers you accountability. So nowadays, unfortunately, my qualification in personal training doesn't really mean much, because anybody can go online now and ask AI to create a 12-week programme for a client. But what we're doing here is we're helping our clients be held accountable, and that's what the world is missing. Because AI can't do that. AI can't hold you accountable to make sure you're showing up for yourself. In our programme, we have our amazing liquid gold, so we have our aloe gel, we have our ultralight shake, which this is a kitchen cupboard item in my house. We use this every day, whether it be shakes, smoothies, pancakes, protein balls, whatever it is, this is taken out at least once a day. We have our fibre, our Garcinia and our tern, and our fibre in itself is such an underrated nutrient, we need it. And ours is so cheap and cheerful. It gives you a structured plan, and it also offers you coaching and support. But you can only coach this programme if you've done it yourself. You have to do this yourself. You have to experience it. You have to know how it feels. You have to understand how your brain works on day 3 when you feel like giving up, and how you need to push forward out of that. And the outcome of this is a physical reset and mental momentum. And like anything in life, once that momentum starts to build, it's really hard to break it. So this is a little ebook that I've put together that I like to give my clients before they start. And it's just offering them the basics on the C9 and the basics about nutrition and hydration. So I just go into how the 9-day programme includes advanced nutrition and exercise routines to help you succeed and reach your personal best on your terms. Our C9 and our booklet is just a guide. We don't necessarily have to follow that from sentence to sentence. We have to be able to work with the person who's in front of us. This is about connection. It's about human connection. And we have to be able to meet people where they're at and work them. If you have somebody who wants to encourage their body to cleanse and do our programme, but they train really hard, then you can skip day 1 and 2 and take them straight into day 3 and increase their calories. They're still getting all the supplements that they need and the hydration, and they're still eating really clean, and they'll still really benefit from it. Then I go into just talking about how the brain works. So typically it takes about 21 days for you to build a new habit. And the C9 is a fantastic foundation for that. Then we talk about adjusting your mindset and your nutrition to keep on track and to challenge yourself to look and feel good. And then these are just the other 3 pages that are in that ebook that I have. So I just go through the products. I go through each one, the gel, the shake. We've loads of trainings on the products themselves. And then I just talk very briefly about basic nutrition and what basic nutrition means. Okay, so I talk about very, very lightly about carbohydrates, proteins, fats, nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and water, and how they work in our bodies and how we need them, because that's so important. So many people do C9, they don't even understand what a calorie is. So a calorie is just a unit of energy. Calorie in, calorie out. We take the energy in, then we use the energy up. So we just try and keep it nice and simple. And then I just touch on hydration. Because if you already feel thirsty, the dehydration has already kicked in. Okay, so you need to be drinking water. Naturally, I wouldn't be great at drinking water, so I tend to fill a bottle, set an alarm, make sure that's gone, and then try to refill it and do that throughout the day. The ripple effect of the C9. So the structured 9-day reset supports consistency, self-trust. It builds your character. So it gets people out of thinking of this story that they carry, that they're no good at minding themselves, or that they're not really into the gym, or they're not really into moving their body. It changes the character. Because once you start to feel the benefit, you want to move your body. You want to only put good food into your body. It works on confidence, because if you're showing up in the background for 9 days and nobody's watching and nobody's clapping, you're going to feel more confident in yourself. And it helps us follow through with what we said we'd do long after we moved, we said it in has passed. So it rewires our brain and it helps us habit stack. So we've all probably heard of habit stacking before. If I have somebody who comes to not only do a C9 but any supplement and they think their story is, I'm brutal at taking supplements, then I will say, okay, let's habit stack this. Do you have a cup of tea or coffee in the morning? Pop your supplement beside that, stack that on top of making your tea or coffee. So it's really, really simple, but it has that ripple effect. And how do we attract clients for our C9s? First and foremost, I would have to say, you have to do it yourself. It's very hard to retail this program and retail it at such a high standard that it deserves if you haven't already done it yourself. So you can share your personal story. So I've just done it again. I don't normally do it twice by this time of the year, but my nervous system took a really bad hit at the end of January, and I just felt like I had a bear chasing me the whole time. I was completely out of routine, and I thought the C9 is going to help me here. And so I set out again. I'd done my 9 days. I got up every day and started then very basics, taking my gel, taking my supplements, getting out and moving my body. And had such a ripple effect, and I can now feel my nervous system falling back into rest and digest again. So, sharing your own results. Invite people to educational evenings. You can have one in person. I've been using WhatsApp a lot lately, where I invite people into a group on whether it be the cleanse, or whether it be skincare, or whether it be gut health. I bring them in, I turn off the comments, so only I can comment. I put in all the information and I leave the group open for 48 hours. And then I go back individually and I check in with all of those people to thank them for coming in and giving me their time, and can I help them at anything? And it always gets a couple of sales from doing that. So that's really powerful to do with the C9. That poster, I just typed into AI, see how great it can be. And I gave them a picture of me and they created a much nicer picture of me. But anyway, it resembles slightly. And then you can just pop that with then in your social medias. Social media is great. I know everybody doesn't like it, but it's the way the world is moving. So you have your lives, you have your reels, you have your posts. Let people see you using the product. You have to let people inside your home. Not just a picture of the product, but a picture of your kids using the product, a picture of you taking the product. You have to let people see that you take the product all the time. I've already covered the WhatsApp groups, wellness workshops, and start small. If you speak to someone and they're not ready to commit to a C9, encourage them to start with a bottle of gel, then add a fibre, then add a shake. They might never be ready to commit to a C9. But if you can start them small and really look after them, you'll have a client for the rest of your days. So that's just a small little sample of how I share the products in the house. Like the 7-year-old would advertise my business all day long, you know. God forbid, if you fart or belch, she'll tell you, your digestive system sounds a bit icky, you want to go to the man and get a bottle of gel. So, like, it really ripples out into them. But to let people inside and let them see that you use the product is so, so powerful. And I just have here a couple of testimonies of why people cleanse. So I do it because it helps rebuild new neural pathways in my brain. So I would have been stuck in fight and flight for God knows how long the last couple of weeks if I hadn't just took the basic steps and said, okay, this gives me structure and routine, I'm going to start here and I'm going to move forward. Then we have the gorgeous Jessica here, and she's a busy mum of 4, and her eating habits can be just for reaching for something on the go that's not generally healthy. And that is the day in the life of a mum with young kids. But she finds that this is fantastic to help her energy levels. He's the gorgeous Katrina. Sorry girls, I didn't even tell you I had this on the slide. So we have the gorgeous Katrina, and she talks about the cleanse, doing the cleanse, because it's a fantastic kickstart for her. And then we have the beautiful Kathleen, and she talks about after her cleanse, her energy and mental health is improved. And there's so much clarity in your brain when you do this cleanse. It's so much more than how you look. It's all about the mind. Everything else will follow. Then we have Anna, and Anna talks about cleansing because she has a chronic health condition, and she finds that cleansing twice a year helps keep her flare-ups at bay. What a powerful testimony. That's amazing. And we have the gorgeous Finola. For me, it's like pressing a reset button. And that's exactly what it felt like for me doing this time. It was like just pressing that reset button and just bringing Jade back to the surface again. And then we have the gorgeous Gina. And she does her cleanse twice a year as a reset for her digestive system. So pull together these testimonies and use them, because something will hit base somewhere with one of your clients and they'll say, we didn't know it was good for that. We'll try it for that. So creating the right environment around the C9. So this is the part that I love. I love to create an environment with the C9. Clients succeed when they feel supported, like everything in life. So I like to create an intentional space for my clients. I do morning check-ins, so I'll check in to see how they feel, and I'll encourage them not to go scrolling on their phone maybe for the first hour, because it's my job to help keep their vibration nice and high while they're on the C9. I like to help center them before we start, so I like to know where they feel they want to go from here, okay? And set their little goals. Emotional support. Sometimes people really want to create change in their life, but their environment doesn't support it, so you have to be that lift. So you need to work on your own vibration too. Accountability, and then the environment itself will shape the behaviour. So the daily reflections of the ripple effect of the C9. So the first one, and the very powerful tool that I always use at the start of classes or with C9, is an energy check-in. Okay, so I'm going to do it with you now. I want you to close down your eyes and place your hand on your heart. And I want you to take a big deep breath into your nose, let it go. And I just want you to ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you absolutely had to drag yourself here today, kicking and screaming, and 10 being you've had a really productive week, where are you feeling right now? And it doesn't matter where you are, I just want you to bring awareness to it. And now I want you to ask yourself, what do I need to do for me, to show up for me this week or this weekend, to take myself from a 1 to a 3, from a 5 to a 7, from a 7 to a 9. What do I need to do to show up for me? Do I need to empty out my brain on a piece of paper? Do I need to go out for a walk in nature? Do I need to just splash my face with cold water? Do I need to drink more water? Do I need to make better choices with the food that I choose? Do I need to cut back my caffeine? That's a fantastic tool that you can use, and it's something that we don't do. We don't check in with ourselves enough. How can I raise my vibration today? And I like to ask them that, and I like them to bring awareness to that. I also like them to focus on gratitude throughout their 9 days, maybe writing down 3 things they're grateful for. Now, this can be really overwhelming for someone who has never journaled or who has never practiced gratitude, and so they might only do it on day 1, then day 3, then day 9, but you're planting the seeds. You're introducing them to this way of thinking. And at the end of every day, I love them to ask themselves, what worked well for me today? And then maybe what didn't work so well. And I like to get them to separate them into 2 piles. And what worked well, we want to carry into tomorrow. What didn't work so well, leave it here today. We don't need to carry that luggage tomorrow. If it didn't work well today, leave it here today. And then I like to ask them, what is their win of the day? So awareness equals growth, and growth equals belief. And that gardens of your life is something that I use a lot after the C9 for people, because it allows them to check in on where they'd like to move forward or where they'd like to give that extra bit of love in their life. Add an extra value. So I love to create like meditation challenges. You'll find them on Spotify or YouTube. There's one Mindful a Minute. She's absolutely fantastic, and she's loads of different meditations. And it's just to encourage our clients just to take that 10 minutes throughout the day, just to breathe and catch a breath. Uplifting playlists. So I encourage them to create an uplifting playlist. Music is so powerful. It can really lift our moods. And community accountability. So I like to, this is a group of the girls on a little hike. I like to pull them together, maybe one in spring, one in summer, one in autumn, one in winter, and it just gets connection going. And they're really grateful for you putting in that effort to take them out, and you're getting it. So create little community walks or create step challenges that will help your clients believe that they can do it. And then the transition after your C9. So don't ask your clients, do ask your clients, don't tell them, okay? So, you don't want to be telling them what they need to do from there. If you are present with your clients and you listen, they will tell you all the answers. So I make it a really big deal that I talk about the products throughout the 9 days and how you can use them on a daily basis in other ways, so that they know, oh, these products can be used outside of these 9 days. And on each day I might ask them, you know, what did you feel worked best for you today? And if they say, oh, my digestive system, then I'll tell them, oh, well, that would be the gel. Or how did you find your energy was? Oh, I had lots of energy today after taking Them-Term. Oh, that's because Them-Term would contribute to your energy levels. So you need to make sure that you're letting them know that these products can be used outside of the 9 days. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you through a little visualization. Okay, so I want you to close down